Do you remember the Kenya Kwanza campaign Clarion dubbed bottom-up economic model? Well, it will cost President William Ruto 2.67 trillion Kenya shillings to make his pre-election pledges a reality. The Parliamentary Budget Office, in a report, says some of the financial commitments listed in the Kenya Kwanza manifesto were understated and proposed new figures to make the plan a reality within few years. Francis Ksh2.67t looks through the Budget Office report and shares the facts and figures.
I welcome all of you.
60 days into President William Ruto's 5-year term, the cost of implementing his campaign promises has been laid bare by the Parliamentary Budget Office. In a report titled An Assessment of the Cost Implications of the Bottom-Up Economic Transformation Plan 2022 to 2027, the Budget Office estimates that it will cost 2.67 trillion shillings to fully implement President Ruto's manifesto within 5 years of his term. In his first year at State House, it will cost 473 billion shillings to finance the bottom-up economic plan. To transform agriculture, the Kenya Kwanza administration will have to commit at least 250 billion shillings in 5 financial years. The 50 billion shillings annual allocation will be used to finance the cost of deploying modern agricultural risk management instruments, raising productivity of key value food chains, as well as revamping of underperforming and collapsed export crops, while expanding the emerging ones. On transformation of micro, small and medium enterprises, the Budget Office projects that it will cost the government up to 397.7 billion shillings in 5 years for all the listed interventions to be successfully implemented. The President's manifesto contains a 250 billion shillings financial commitment for the period of his tenure that runs from financial year 2022-2023 to 2026-2027. This includes an annual allocation of 50 billion shillings to the Hustlers Fund that he has publicly stated will be launched on 1st of December. On housing, the Kenya Kwanza government is targeting to deliver 250,000 affordable units per year and growing the number of mortgages from 30,000 to 1 million through low-cost mortgages of 10,000 shillings and below. The 5-year plan is to be financed through a commitment of 250 billion shillings, of which 50 billion shillings will be from the government through budgetary allocations and 200 billion shillings from the pension funds. The Budget Office, however, holds that the Ruto administration will need to allocate at least 57.9 billion shillings within a period of 5 years to unlock 200 billion shillings from the pension funds and the private sector and an additional 5 billion shillings to establish the settlement fund. On universal health care, the Budget Office estimates that at least 258.9 billion shillings will be required to make the Kenya Kwanza health plan a reality within 5 years. Another 40 billion shillings will be required to implement the digital superhighway and creative economy strategy anchored on 4 key pillars: digital infrastructure, digital government service, product and data management, as well as digital skills, innovation and enterprise. On provision of quality and adequate road infrastructure, the Kenya Kwanza manifesto makes a financial commitment of 200 billion shillings. The Budget Office, however, estimates that it will cost 823.3 billion shillings to complete all ongoing national government roads, including settling pending bills, estimated at 140 billion shillings. The figure does not include the cost of constructing new roads. While acknowledging the role of energy in the country's economic growth, the Budget Office notes that the Kenya Kwanza manifesto does not expressly indicate the amount of resources that will be devoted to the sector. The office estimating that 20.9 billion shillings will be required to light the country and power the industries. To successfully finance the education sector in 5 years, the Budget Office estimating that it will cost the Kenya Kwanza administration 635.3 billion shillings. It also projects the cost of implementing the women agenda at 12.4 billion shillings, social protection at 116 billion shillings, governance at 50 billion shillings, while implementation of the environment and climate change plan will cost 24 billion shillings. While the Parliamentary Budget Office has weighed in on the implications of a proposal to slash the 2022-2023 budget by 300 billion shillings, the President holds that unnecessary expenditure must be removed.
It's not a simple assignment. It's not an easy thing to do, but I promise you we will do it. We will have to relook at some of the interventions. I have seen reports that we have slowed down on trips abroad and many of the other things, and made sure that we are removing the fat from our budget.
The Budget Office report projects a 2.46 trillion shillings revenue in 2022-2023 financial year that will rise to 4.15 trillion shillings in the 2026-2027 financial year. The annual public management report for financial year 2021-2022, published by the Public Debt Management Office at the National Treasury, indicates that as at June this year, the national debt had risen to 8.6 trillion shillings from 7.7 trillion shillings in June 2021, an increase of 891.6 billion shillings. Francis Gashuri, Citizen TV.